Take a look at the starting grid for tonight's race. Look at that front row. Jimmy Johnson with a new track record, and Ryan Newman, a couple of guys also in the chase for the Nextel Cup Championship. Right behind them, Kyle Busch and Reed Sorensen, who thought he had a shot at the pole, came up fourth. Regan Smith, another strong qualifying run, and Kenny Wallace in row 3.
Row 4, we've got Kenny Hamlin. There's a chaser, Jeremy Mayfield on the outside row 4. Clint Boyer chasing Truex for the championship. J.J. Yeley, Greg Biffle, and Paul Menard fill out row 6.
Back in row 7 on the inside, Kevin Harvick. On the outside, the leader in the NASCAR Busch Series points, Martin Truex Jr. Jamie McMurray on the inside of row 8. Matt Kenseth, another chaser on the outside. Brent Sherman, great qualifying run for Brent. And Carl Edwards, another guy chasing the NASCAR Nextel Cup.
Back in row 10, John Wood alongside of Robbie Gordon. Johnny Sauter and Tony Rain share row 11. And in row 12, Aaron Fike and Elliott Sadler.
Pretty strong row in 13, Tony Stewart and Bill Elliott. Row 14, David Green and Kevin LePage. And row 15, Stacy Compton and Justin Labonte.
On the inside of row 16 is Sterling Marlin. Jeff Fuller on the outside. Jason Leffler inside of row 17. Unusually poor qualifying run for Jason. Usually it's better than that. Jason Keller on the outside of row 17. Kevin Hamlin, row 18. And Casey Kane, NASCAR Nextel Cup regular.
In row 19, Stedman Marlin gets to share the track with his dad Sterling tonight. He's next to David Stremme, Todd Bodine, and T.J. Bell. Adrian Fernandez in a backup car. We saw his wreck in qualifying along with Ashton Lewis Jr. And look who starts last. Dale Earnhardt Jr. got in on the past series champions provisional. A lot of people here. A lot of guys went home. Benson Crosby, Davis, Green, Grissom, Jourdain, and Michael Waltrip failed to make the race. And a bunch of guys fall into the back of the field. Guys in backup cars. The 43 goes to the rear for an engine change. And the 34 and the 7 making adjustments after qualifying. This is an impound race for the NASCAR Busch Series. Well, we'll see what happens. This will be a fun race, and we'll certainly set the stage for 500 miles tomorrow night. The NASCAR Busch Series at the Lowe's Motor Speedway, Charlotte, North Carolina. Glad you're along for the ride.
Showing there's some grip up on the high side right now.
I'm telling you, Ryan Newman, how impressive is that? Everyone has been terrified of that high groove. No one has ventured up there. And on the first lap of the Busch race, he takes the lead.
A lot of concern about the early laps here because of the degrees of inexperience in this field and the track surface. More from pit road from Alan.
Well, Bill, one thing that won't be distracting Ryan Newman is traffic from his team. He cannot hear them on the radio. They can hear him. He can't hear them in these early laps.
Well, that means you can't hear a spotter, I guess, either. Which is okay if you're out front, but what's going on with the 48, Matt?
Bringing a brand new race car to what he considers his home turf, the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Now, right before the green flag, he came on the radio and he told his team, we are here to have fun. We're not racing for points. Let's just go out and enjoy the evening and get this car back to victory lane.
As we've talked about, 19 drivers that are in tomorrow night's race. In this race tonight, 7 of them are chase contenders for the Nextel Cup Championship.
And you see all that spark, you say, well, something's wrong with the car. Not necessarily. The car's going the corners and the springs collapse so much that the suspension goes down and rolls the racetrack. Sometimes it's the frame, sometimes the exhaust. That's just parts of the car dragging the racetrack.
Adds to the nighttime excitement.
Comes Kyle Busch in that 57 car.
Yeah, hopefully it's not the oil pan.
Yes.
I've heard of those things happening.
Yeah.
Yes. Ryan Newman, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch running 1, 2, 3. And Reed Sorensen, Regan Smith. 4 straight wins in the Busch Series for Ryan Newman. Going for his 5th straight win tonight. Does not run them all, but when he does, he is hard to beat. Used to be very bumpy down there in turns 3 and 4.
So Kyle Busch is going to try the high side. He's kind of searching right now behind Jimmy Johnson to see where Jimmy's weakness is right now.
There's grip now, what the drivers say, as we've been talking about, all over this track. So you really can try and find your own line and feel pretty confident that the car is going to stick.
Well, it used to be you go down to turn 3 and you would hit those bumps and you would just hang on because the car would just rock and just slide up over those bumps. But right now the cars look pretty steady through there. You know, where they call it, BP? Levigated the racetrack.
Yes.
A lot of fans here tonight and a lot of curious onlookers from the Nextel Cup garage. Alan, more on Ryan Newman.
Yeah, you start bouncing around these racetracks and sometimes things fix themselves, right, Bill?
Yes, sir.
Ryan Newman's radio has fixed itself. He just talked to the crew. They just talked to him. They think it's in the plug from his helmet into the wiring harness above his right shoulder, and they're hoping it stays connected for the rest of this race.
Because what bumps it into place can bump it out of place. Ryan, or Jamie McMurray back there.
Yeah, him and Stewart were going at it. There's a bunch of those guys that were going at it, and McMurray just slid up and slammed the wall pretty good in turn 4.
It's Matt Kenseth in the 9, Carl Edwards in the 60.
And those sparks that you saw flying, those are bad sparks.
Yeah.
They come from the side of your car. That's not good.
That's not good. Battle for second spot. Kyle Busch, 57 on the inside of 48. There he goes. Good to see you, Jimmy.
And now we'll see if the 48 was holding up Kyle.
I believe you'll see Kyle Busch take off and go after Newman right now. He's got a pretty fast car.
Field coming to get the green flag. Completing lap 55 with Kyle Busch, the race leader.
Earnhardt Jr. gets underneath Paul Menard there. Is he on the same tires, Dave?
The very same tires that he started the race with. In fact, they talked about the next pit stop. Hey, let's go to make sure we change 4, yada, yada. And then Junior said, hey, how'd the guys do that just changed 2 last time? And they checked around a little bit. Hey, they're doing okay. Haven't lost a lot of spots. Hey, maybe we'll just change 2 the next time and keep this track position. Yikes.
Wow. Ryan Newman, 39 car on the outside of Kyle Busch, trying to take the lead, and does.
Biffle thinking about following him in that high groove. Championship leader Martin Truex Jr. stopped twice under the most recent caution. Brought out by Clint Boyer. Boyer has only 1 DNF this season after getting caught in the Talladega Big One.
Matt, how about the 8 car? Have they got anything solved on the Truex automobile?
BP back on lap 51. They made a track bar and wedge adjustment as well as air pressure. Then he came back in after further conversation with Bono that put on a set of 6-lap scuffs from yesterday's practice on lap 54. Now that's a lot like maybe if you were in school chewing gum and you stuck it underneath the desk, you came back a day later and it hardened up. That's a lot the similar system what you get with scuffed tires. He felt like it was rolling over on the right front, restarting deep in the field. Now he's got a ton of track position to make up and a lot of slower cars in front. He's going to have to try to work his way through.
I never really liked the gum after I picked it up from the bottom of the desk the second day as much as the first day.
Just doesn't have the same flavor.
Just doesn't have the same flavor.
This is a big night for Truex, though, with Boyer out of the race. His goal certainly is not to win, but get as many points as possible and open that gap between first and second. Marty.
An awfully hard hit for Clint Boyer. You okay?
Yeah, that's a pretty good lick. I don't know what happened. My teammate got up on the outside and we got a little anxious, got me loose, and you know, by the time I couldn't stay off of him and spun ourselves out. It was an unfortunate deal. You know, it's pretty bad when you get into it with your own teammate, but it's the way it goes.
A lot of damage to that race car. Are you going to try to get back out?
You know, I mean, they're going to try, but I don't know how they're going to. That they hit hard, so we'll just have to see if we can get some points. And I don't know what it is about this place. We had bad luck both times we came. We had good luck all year long. I guess it's bound to happen sometime.
Gil Martin and the team are back in the garage area in the Busch Series garage working right now, trying to get that car ready, but it's going to take an awfully long time to get it back out on the track.
And Marty, prior to tonight, Clint had finished worse than 20th in just 3 races. And that's why he is still a championship contender, but those hopes taking a hit tonight.
Didn't appear like he was real anxious to get back in that car.
No.
That's what I was thinking. I was just trying to think, you know, as hard as he hit the wall, I'm not too sure that he's too anxious to get back out there. Imagine he wants to go home and
put some ice on his head.
Yeah.
Like Weber's got on his right now.
It's from listening to you. Harvick, J.J. Yaley.
Yaley in the 18 car.
Matt Kenseth right in front of him in the 9. Allen.
Green Sorensen by the 79.
Matt Sorensen picks up a spot there, VP. Want to talk about Matt Kenseth for a second. Robbie Reiser, his Nextel Cup crew chief, has taken a very keen interest in this race. The first set of tires that came off Matt's car, one of them was blistered. Matt and Robbie had a long conversation about what the cause might be, what they might be able to do about it during this race. The real answer is not a whole lot. We're going to have to just keep an eye on it and see.
I would think that all of the Cup crew chiefs are probably taking a lot more interest in this race because of the tire issue right now. I'm sure that everybody is trying to figure out what's going on and what they can prevent.
And I see that I saw the 66 car and the 57 car. You see they moved up the racetrack about a lane. And one reason for doing that is if the tires are suspect, that outside retaining wall is much closer to the middle of the racetrack than it is the bottom of the racetrack. If you do happen to have a tire problem, you don't hit the wall nearly as hard from the middle as you do from the very bottom.
But I want to see Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s tires.
Yeah,
when they
got any left.
Yeah. We've run 64 laps, and Junior has not changed tires. That's Robbie Gordon in the 55, under Mayfield in the 79.
Whoa, Robbie drove in there, and the car started to take a slide. He had to jump out of the throttle and gathered it back up.
Kevin Harvick on his bumper.
Robbie's going to take that spot away. Harvick's going to work on him. Jeremy's going to lose a few spots here. What's going on with Mayfield, Matt? Because he's slipping back.
He was tight earlier in the race, Wally, and this is an example of 2 tires, and they went the 2-tire gamble on their last stop. And he is slowly fading farther and farther to the back.
So 2 tires not the answer for Mayfield. It's Kenny Wallace getting the position. John Wood and Casey Kane.
And that black and white car is Casey Kane. He's back in the 38 car for this race.
Wood in the 47. Not missing anything up front. Newman leads by 0.3 of a second over Kyle Busch.
Tony Raines in a 33 car takes a spot away from Casey Kane.
On board with Casey. Great Clips ride. And this sure tightened up in a hurry.
I'm telling you.
Looks like that outside groove may be a little bit faster than the groove that Ryan Newman's running, which has been down low.
Newman is the leader. Kyle Busch in second, Greg Biffle in third. And this went from 0.3 of a second to a car length in a heartbeat.
Looks like the high line, and they're getting off the corner better anyway, and Biffle lost a little bit there.
Looks like Ryan's using the whole track.
Hey, Matt, what just happened to the 66 car?
BP, he hasn't said anything on the radio. Now, he did try the higher line earlier and stuck with it because he felt like the car was better, but he's slowly losing track position there, but he hasn't said anything to his team.
He's just losing a spot to Tony Stewart right now. He takes a spot away, so maybe Biffle thinks he's got something wrong with his car, but
Dave.
Hey, did you guys realize tonight was open mic night?
I didn't realize that.
Open mic night here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway as we see Busch and Newman still battling there. Yeah, Tony Stewart left his mic keyed open for an entire lap, said to his crew chief Greg Zipadelli, and we got trouble. Never mind. I'll tell you later.
Right front down, Johnny Sauter's car. Whoa, did he hit hard. Look at that right front.
And you were saying you were just waiting for one guy to do it. You're just hoping it's not you.
Exactly. It's going to happen. You're just hoping it's not you to bring out the yellow.
Sauter 14th in the championship standings.
There we see Johnny in the one car.
This may be a little bit different deal.
Yep.
This may be contact.
It's Carl Edwards. Yes, sir.
Just a little bump from behind.
When we go to the replay coming off the corner on the backstretch, Carl Edwards went to make the pass on Sauter and didn't have him cleared, obviously. Caught the rear bumper of Johnny's car to turn him right into the wall. And there is a angry man inside that yellow car right there. Because when you get wrecked on the straightaway, nothing makes you more angry than that.
Fourth caution of the day. Marty.
And the first words that the team heard about it on Carl Edwards' radio was, man, I did not mean to do that. Just tell them I am sorry. Whatever you can do, get to the one car, tell them I didn't mean to do it, and I'm really, really sorry.
No, he just misjudged. I mean, you can tell that it wasn't intentional, but they hadn't been beating on each other for 2 or 3 laps before that. It's just sometimes sorry just doesn't.
That's not gonna. Johnny's not gonna care. He's not gonna care that Carl's sorry.
It's like, it's just sometimes when you apologize, it doesn't mean anything. This is one of those deals. Johnny's gonna go, oh, well,
all right. Everybody coming to pit lane. Dave?
Tony Stewart wants 4 tires. His car is having a little trouble turning. They will put a wrench in the rear of that car, make a track bar adjustment, fill it full of fuel. Alan.
Ryan Newman, the race leader, leading at the last scoring loop the car crossed, even though Kyle Busch was trying to pass him. Watching to see whether they're going to do 2 or 4 tires here. There was some debate about it. 2 tires for Newman, and he's gone. Matt?
AB, they're going to make a chassis adjustment just completed on the Biff's car. He said, I was burning up my tires trying to keep the leader's BP. That's why he started to slide back. To Snyder.
And Matt, out on the racetrack, still Carl Edwards. No pit stop this time. They've been saving tires that entire run. They're fairly convinced their tires are good enough to hang with these guys who have brand new ones.
Well, Battery didn't want to take a chance on running into Johnny Sauter. 93 laps are complete. It was all peaceful and nice and friendly. Then they put out the green flag. And the early going was okay.
And everything went so good to lap 29 when Jimmy Johnson, the right front tire goes flat down in turn 1.
Lap 43, contact. Regan Smith with the magnificent save. He didn't hit anything and nobody hit him. Then championship contender Clint Boyer.
Yep, he gets into Kevin Harvick, slides up the racetrack and pretty much takes himself out, but he hit that wall very hard, driver's side. He got out slow, but he's feeling it.
Then contact between Carl Edwards and Johnny Sauter. Sauter drove the car back to the garage, declined our invitation for an interview. Then Regan Smith and Denny Hamlin. And Adrian Fernandez, after bumping and banging with Brent Sherman, just got loose. Hits the inside wall. Lost a car here this afternoon in qualifying, and that one's done too. So as they run now, it's the top 24 guys on the track. Did not come down pit road. Green flag is out. Ryan Newman leads.
Kenny Wallace on the inside had an unscheduled pit stop a few laps ago on the green for a flat tire. That's what he's doing on the inside. That's what he's doing a couple of laps down.
He is 2 laps down, so he's trying to get one of those laps back, but I don't think anybody's going to get a lap back from Ryan Newman tonight.
He has led 75 of the 97 laps. Adrian Fernandez treated and released from the infield care center.
And the 81 car, the red car on the inside, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has lost 5 or 6 positions. Tony Stewart, Menard. Dave, what's going on with 81?
Well, BP, you guys were kind of talking about it during the break. You know, what's going on in terms of him not moving forward. It's not a great race car tonight. Junior says, though, if we could make the right rear stand up a little bit more, maybe more air pressure, I'd be happier with it. But didn't qualify well. Only got to the front by track position so far.
I got you.
Matt, how about Menard?
His other teammate in the Menard's car, the 11, Paul Menard, his car, after an air pressure adjustment bill on the left side tires, he says the car has really come to life and is handling very well.
That's Tony Stewart in that 19 car tonight, his final Busch race of the season.
Leffler in the 32, right behind the 11 car, Paul Menard.
Benny told you about Kenny Wallace, the 22. Earnhardt Jr. in the 81.
Uh-oh, Junior, I think you picked the wrong line there, Junior. What's going on with the 32, Marty?
Well, BP, the longer this race goes, the better that car gets for Jason Leffler. They've been a little bit tight. And look at this. Kenny Wallace.
Oh, right in front of everybody. Earnhardt Jr. Earnhardt gets into Tony Raines trying to avoid
And
Kenny
Raines
Wallace.
across the track, it's David Green.
Man.
7th caution period of the night.
Lots and lots of damage to that 27 car. They met head on. David Green in the 22 car.
Kenny Wallace in the 22. Tony Raines.
Did David hit the 33 or the 22? I'm not sure which. Whoever he did, he hit hard.
He hit Raines. I believe. We'll take a look again. There's Tony out of his car. David Green, former series champion.
David lives about 3 or 4 miles from the speedway.
In the top 10 in the championship standings this season. He has his helmet off.
Yeah, you can see him moving around inside.
Pit road is closed, but the pace car brings the field through the pits so they can stay off the front stretch here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. A lot of debris and safety equipment out there.
I wouldn't be surprised maybe if David's feet, it looks like he's trying to get out. Your feet and legs really take a beating on these kind of crashes.
David from Owensboro, Kentucky. Gets a hand from the fans here in the front stretch.
Looks like he is okay.
There's Clint Boyer, who was in an earlier crash. Okay, now let's see what happened here.
Leffler just got sideways, corrected. We've seen it a bunch of times here. It just gets into Kenny Wallace. Earnhardt goes low, Raines goes low to miss him, and they just get tangled up together.
And that was Tony Raines that the 27 car David Green plowed into.
Kenny Wallace trying to hang on to it. Couldn't do it. Junior gets clipped.
Boy, and David Green had open racetrack, and all of a sudden that 33 car came sliding across the grass.
You think it's all behind you at that point, don't you?
Yep.
Coming right at you. On board with Kenny Wallace.
Good gracious, at the debris.
Still there. Still there. First. Hold it. See if you can hold it. Hold it. Kenny got away with, hit. I don't think he hit anything.
I don't think he's got a lot of damage to that 22 car.
I think he has damage to the nose of it. Got clipped coming right across the front of it. The guy's in the crash, and they continue to work on the front stretch cleanup.
Now they've stopped the cars on the backstretch.
Race has been red flagged. 102 laps complete. John Wood has also gone to the garage in the 47 car, so he must have gotten a piece of that as well. Race has been red flagged, 7th caution period of the night. NASCAR Busch Series racing at Lowe's Motor Speedway. Coming around to complete lap 139. See how many we get in this time. Let them restart single file. That was a good courtesy from those guys not on the move off.
Robbie Gordon goes by the 34 car. Todd Bodine, so does Martin Truex Jr.
And here comes Newman.
And it looks like the tire is okay. No rub.
Doesn't look like it slowed him down either.
Once they tell you it looks fine, you have to trust them, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. But a lot of times, you know, it looks fine under the caution, but, you know, these cars run a lot lower when they're at speed, so it changes when they're going fast.
There's a NASCAR Series points leader, Martin Truex Jr. on the inside of Robbie Gordon. But we've seen on the bottom of the racetrack is not particularly the place to be. You get loose down there. We've seen that several times tonight.
Newman gets the position. Stremme continues to lead. These are the guys in the top 10 in the Busch Series standings. Boyer crash, Sorensen crash. Edwards contributed to a crash, did lead a lap tonight. Hamlin crash. And there's more. Kenny Wallace crash, David Green crash, Greg Biffle crash. And those are the guys that came in the top 10. Tomorrow night, the 10 guys chasing the Nextel Cup do not want to be on this list.
We talked about Talladega being a wild card in the 10 races. It looks like that the Lowe's Motor Speedway is another joker in the deck.
Oh, Robbie's loose big time, getting into turn 3. He's going to lose a couple spots.
Maybe 3 spots, yep.
Menard in the 11. Tony Stewart on board with Tony. DLP HD TV ride. It's a Texas Instruments product. Of course, they're the sponsor for Hall of Fame racing. Coming to the Nextel Cup Series in 2006.
And Stewart's car is working good. Takes a spot for Robbie Gordon. Puts him 6th right now.
Davis Tribute 14 still leads Kevin Harvick. But Harvick's getting closer and closer.
Well, we're going green for a little while. Let's see if we can't work in through the field here. Start with Dave.
And we'll start with the leader, David Stremme. How valuable is clean air? This car is very, very good out front of the field. They will have to stop one more time before this race is over. Alan?
I see Kevin Harvick in the orange car trying to take the lead away from David Stremme. Probably just as distressing as the fact that he hasn't passed Stremme yet. The fact that Ryan Newman is getting closer to Kevin Harvick's rearview mirror. See if Harvick can get around Stremme here and take that top spot. Looked like he had a run on him down the backstretch, but Stremme able to hold him off.
Been working on him hard.
I would say he's got a little urgency to get this done, wouldn't you? Seeing what's behind him?
Without a doubt, because there's the 39 of Ryan Newman right behind these guys. Okay, let's continue going through the field. Alan?
Yeah, we were holding for a pass for the lead that didn't happen then.
But it's going to
may happen now.
Yep.
Kevin Harvick, new race leader.
Start now, Alan.
Okay, so Ryan Newman had the contact there with T.J. Bell. The right front looked over. Car seems to be handling fine. He hasn't said anything on the radio since the restart. By the way, they are communicating with each other on the radio. Matt?
79 of Jeremy Mayfield running in the mirror of Ryan Newman. Now he says the car is good and it's coming to him, but not the same good car like the 39 has. Meanwhile, the 8 of Martin Truex, he has seen just about everything tonight. He's been at the back, he's been at the front, he has led laps, moved up into the top 5 when Gordon fell out with that bobble in 3 and 4, Dave.
2 stops ago, Tony Stewart restarted 14th after that bad pit stop. They have made their way back up into the top 10, running 6th right now. And Tony knows that Newman may have dinged up his fender a little bit as he goes underneath the 8 of Truex. Matt?
And Robbie Gordon settling in now to the 7th position. After that bobble now, he cannot make it to the end. They told Robbie he is short. The car a little on the free side. Snyder.
Matt, things just starting to look good for Carl Edwards. They actually have 2 sets of tires left that they scuffed in earlier in the day as he tries to get around Robbie Gordon. But just a moment ago, told his crew, I might have a loose wheel. That would be bad news. Matt?
This is the battle for second. Ryan Newman past Stremme. Now sets out after Harvick. Back to you, Matt.
Now Paul Menard trying to close in on that 6th position in the championship standings. There's a big point gap there, but it is a slow buffer between himself and 8th. Right now having a great run, Dave, running in the 9th position. The car was on the tight side. They made a track bar adjustment on the last stop and put on 4 fresh tires.
Elliott Sadler's crew asked him to conserve a little bit with enough cautions. Well, he might try to make it. The last stop, they just changed 4 tires, took a little tape off the grill. He was running a little bit hot. As for the 18 of J.J. Yaley, he was a little bit hard to turn the car in the center of the corner. They made a track bar adjustment and changed 4 tires for him. It's worked pretty well. Alan?
Well, Matt Kenseth had the loose wheel. It brought him to pit road under green at lap 120. Got the lucky dog pass on the caution that came out just after that. His team just told him on the radio, you're faster than everyone on the racetrack but the leader. He said, I'm trying not to use it up right now. Dave?
A first for Sterling Marlin in the Busch Series tonight. He runs on the racetrack in a Busch Series race with his son Stedman. Stedman currently in the 27th position in the 12 car. Sterling in the 13th position. Alan?
Been kind of an adventurous night for Jamie McMurray. He has hit the wall twice in that 64 car and rearranged the sheet metal on the right front. They fixed it both times. They came in twice under that last caution and topped off the fuel, hoping it runs green to the finish. Dave?
Talked to Brett Sherman just before the race started. Said, you know, one thing I really want to do tonight is miss everybody else's wrecks. So far, the 10 car has been able to do that. Brett runs in the top 20. Marty?
Dave, Todd Bodine last pitted at lap 103. They took on tires at that point, so they're on a little bit older tires than everyone else. They are about 6 laps short from making it all the way on fuel, but having a good run. Car's been tight for most of the evening. Jason Leffler, however, just passed Todd. His car has been loose, as we saw earlier. They are 6 laps short from making it all the way on fuel. Car gets better, though, the longer this race goes. Dave?
Awesome Bill going back in the memory bank said, you know what, Richard Petty used to tell me, if you can't get to the end, you can't win. So he told his crew, last pit stop, I'm trying to stay patient, even though this is a tight race car. Marty?
John Wood had a great weekend last weekend at Kansas. Started 2nd, finished 5th in that race. But tonight you can see the damage on the right front of that Clorox car. He's in 18th, but they have had a wreck earlier on, and John's been struggling with a tight race car all evening long. Alan?
Hey guys, just a transmission on Kevin Harvick, the leader's radio a minute ago. My throttle is sticking. Keep an eye on the leader, see if he has some troubles.
You want to explain that?
Oh, I know what that's all about. I don't know what's causing his throttle to stick, but in Fontana, when my gas pedal went to the floor, they have a heat carpet on the floor, and the bottom of the pedal ripped that carpet, and it was sticking in the carpet. And I'll tell you what, you go flying down into turn 1 at about a $185, 190, and it sticks. Pretty exciting.
You back off the throttle to go in the corner, and the throttle doesn't back off.
Stays to the floor.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
So what you have to do is you got to take your toe and you got to hook the pedal and pull it back up. Now you say, well, okay, well, if it's going to do it every lap, what do? Well, then you can't go full throttle. So the whole race, you got to go all the way almost to the floor, but not quite to the floor, so it won't stick. But I don't know what his situation is. It could be something in the carburetor or something else.
Alan, you got some more?
Hey, Wally, Kevin has just talked about, you know, if I have to, I'll use the switches. You make the assumption there that he's talking about the ignition switch, shut off the engine as he gets to the corner, then flip the switch back on, pop the clutch, and start it up again?
You know what? I don't think you can do that every lap here, Alan, because you're going so fast. And when you do that, you really upset the car. You unlock the engine when you shut it down, and when you turn it back on, it comes on full throttle. And I just don't think you can get away with that.
Todd Bodine, who was running in the top 5, just took his car to the garage. Marty, you got that?
Literally, when we were talking about him through the field, he said something's wrong with the engine guys. Came on a lap later, said we've lost the cylinder. Now they're going to go back to the garage.
Menard. Looks like he's picking up a couple of spots. He got by Yaley. Now he's passing Elliott Sadler in the 90 car. His car looks like it's been working pretty good tonight.
Yes. Robbie Gordon leading this pack.
Sadler hangs tough on the outside.
The outside line is definitely the fastest. It's the better line when you're trying to race with someone.
Yeah, you have to complete the pass before you get into the corner, because if you go side by side in a corner and you're on the bottom, you're going to be loose.
Oh, contact between the 90 and 11. Sadler and Menard made contact off turn 4, and we almost had our next caution flag.
Already had 10. The record is 12.
That takes the wind out of you. And Sadler lost a couple spots there.
But he was in that high groove, then he moved down low and then tried to come back up. Menard had filled the position. Carl Edwards and Martin Truex Jr., the championship leader in car 8. Car and spinning down. Robbie Gordon in turn 1.
The right rear tire blew on the 55 car.
Did you hear it?
Yes, I did.
I was looking for it. I heard it.
And we see the tire came apart and just basically ripped the quarter panel off the 55 car, the rear fender.
11th caution of the race.
I tell you, it's like playing Russian roulette. You're just waiting for it to happen to you.
Casey Kane is the lucky dog again. That will put him back on the lead lap.
That's the tread of the tire. There's the rest of the tire.
What's left of it?
This is a...
Yeah, there it is.
Nope.
It happened going through the tri-oval.
I thought I heard a bang.
Yeah. We were all looking around.
Yeah. Well, he fought that thing for...
Kept it off the wall. I mean, that
was the
doesn't
inner
count.
liner. Didn't the inner liner blow out about the time you hit the wall?
Yeah.
The inner liner, a tire inside the tire.
I'll tell you what, Robbie did a heck of a job hanging that. Look at that. That's pretty good car control right there.
That's from about 190 to nothing in a hurry.
They don't give out trophies for car control.
No. But you sure feel a lot better.
Okay, fellas, you can make it the rest of the way from here. Who's going to pit? Well, Strimmy had to.
Dave Burns.
No changes for the 14 car. He likes the way it is. He said, I'd like something to drink, too. We'll see if they get to that on David Strimmy. Had to bring the car in, though. He was one of those guys that could not have made it to the end, even if we'd had a ton of cautions, guys.
Matt.
Championship point leader Martin Truex pulling into his pit stall. 2-tire change expected, and also track bar adjustment. Going to raise it slightly to try to free the car up. It's just so tight down in 3 and 4. He's away. His teammate Paul Menard, 2 tires as well.
Here comes Robbie Gordon on the bottom. Trying to get a lap back.
And charging up on the inside. Got 53 laps of caution tonight. The record, 54.
At least he didn't break that record.
Yet.
Ryan Newman, close-up run on the back bumper of Harvick.
Black flag, 55. Robbie Gordon was supposed to restart at the tail end of the longest line and did not. So Robbie had a good night, got bad, now it's worse. Sorry about that.
I was just going to say, I knew he was going to get in trouble for something. Because usually when you come up like that fast, when the field is slow, he backed off before he passed the leader, but now I know that from experience.
Tell you what, this is a great battle we've got going for the lead. Tony Stewart, that blue car, the 19, has joined this battle between Harvick and Newman.
And a car on the move is the 9 of Matt Kenseth.
Newman's going to take a look here. He's got a good run off of turn 2, but what happens down here if it goes to the low side? No. Yeah.
Harvick up high, Newman low. Off of 4.
See ya.
Caution, Jeremy Mayfield. And that will tie the track record. 12th caution of the night.
So I wonder who was in front, Newman or the 21 car?
8 scoring loops around this track. It's the one you just passed. It is the most critical when the caution comes out. That's where you are scored.
But we don't know where they're at.
It's a big secret. They're based at intervals around the track. There actually is a diagram. I'll be happy to show you after the race.
There is, really?
Yes, yes.
I'll be happy to look at it.
Okay.
Let me see what might have happened there. We see Jeremy Mayfield in the 79 car.
Well, we've seen it all night long. You get next to somebody going through the corner and you just get loose. Ooh. You're down on the bottom.
You cannot keep the car from turning around.
A lot of Cup drivers watching are going to figure out how they can pass on the high side tomorrow night.
Brent Sherman in that pink 10 car has been around a lot of stuff tonight. And he has gotten through all of it so far.
You know, that pink car, the Serta is the sponsor on that car, and they're selling a set of pink mattresses. The money going to the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Fund.
Ryan Newman is the race leader. So Newman had the pass completed before the caution came out when they passed the scoring loop. That help you, Wally?
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're here for you. Under caution at Charlotte. Coming around to complete 191 of 200. See if we can get to the finish.
Tony Stewart, this is it. This is his chance. All right, can Ryan beat him off this corner? He's trying.
Well, he's got to have enough lead going into 3 to try to hold side by side off of 4.
We'll watch it. Dave, what do you got?
Oh, probably going around.
Oh, that's what we talked about, being on the low side.
More
not where you want to be.
Oh, Stremme. 14th caution of the night. That ties the high for the season. From upstairs.
See, he's trying to make the pass, and he's got enough race car in front of him, but the car just gets loose down on the bottom. We've seen it all night. Like I said, it's just then you're just along for the ride. Bad thing about it is Tony did this in front of the whole field. So all these guys are trying to scramble. Stremme thought he had some room down on the bottom side to get through, but he didn't.
J.J. Yeley was looking at a top 5. Stremme has led 22 laps tonight.
And Tony gets out of the car.
Takes the heat shields off his shoes. Three to go when they get the green. Ryan Newman, Elliott Sadler, Paul Menard, Sterling Moreland, Jason Leffler. Newman has been the class of the field. Another slow restart.
Yep, they brought him down just like he's been doing it all night long. Sadler's got enough here. It doesn't look like he took the opportunity Stewart did on the restart. Carl Edwards back there, though, trying to make some moves.
Carl Edwards trying to get by the 40 car, Sterling Marlin. I guess he's got to get by Jason Leffler, 32 first. Oh, we've seen trouble down there before. Carl makes the pass.
2 to go. Sadler looking at Newman.
I think that's all he's going to be doing for the next couple laps.
Ryan's trying to pull away.
Boy, they almost wrecked there.
Ashton Lewis, John Wood in 47. Oh, we've seen trouble there before, haven't we?
Yeah, I was going to say, it still may happen. These guys have been bouncing off each other for the last lap.
It's a championship leader, Martin Truex Jr. right behind him, and Jamie McMurray. White flag, last lap at Charlotte. A lot of work to get to this point. Sadler trying to rope in Newman. Ryan going for his 5th consecutive win in the Busch Series. A lot of guys.
Yep, this is going to be fun to watch this last corner.
Ryan Newman out of turn 4. Newman brings the field to the checkered flag.
And they're reckoning for
5 in a row for Newman. A crash coming up for 4.
Jamie McMurray.
Goes across the finish line sideways.
Hard to believe that here in May, this was the 39 team's first race of the 2005 season, and here in October, they're celebrating their 5th straight win. Ryan Newman in victory lane. That was a nice dismount there, Ryan. Boy, all the issues you had tonight. You had the radio problems, you had the right front damage from the contact, and you had some tire problems. Which one gave you the most problems?
Oh, just, you know, time, basically, just kind of waiting everything out. And first of all, I got to apologize. I guess it was TJ Bell. I obviously didn't mean and got loose and got up into him and spun him around. But got to thank Alex Zanardi for teaching me how to do donuts, man. That's a lot of fun. And I was actually dizzy at the end. But everybody at Alltel Penske Racing, Dodge, just everybody's doing a great job. And it's a lot of fun. And these guys deserve it. They've been doing a good job.
After what all happened tonight, what you saw happening around you, do you have concerns about tomorrow night's race, Ryan?
Oh, always concerns. I mean, had 22 cautions in the first race, first Cup racer this year, so there's concerns. But I think the track's in good shape. It's a blast to drive. I absolutely love driving it. It's just like the old Charlotte. It's just got more grip.